Can you all see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So today we will actually talk about data types and operations. So what does data mean? When we say data, what does it actually mean? It's not the data plan that we have in the phone, but what does data mean?
Information.
Yes, that's good. So data actually means like information. So computer performs many actions, right? Like we were performing the action of printing, action of draw, and in each of these action, computer is processing the information. So if we say like a process means action, then the information is key to the process. Without information, the computer cannot like process anything. If you say simply print, what will it print? It doesn't know what it needs to print. Right? So we say print X. So when we say print X, X is the information that is sent to the action print. So data means information. The information sent to the computer is called data. Data can be like anything, like it can be numbers, like we send like 1, 2, 3, any numbers are like 1.1, 1.2, anything like that. And it can be names like Bloomington. Hi, Dhruv. Dhruv, can you turn off your video? And can you talk? I'm hearing your sound. No mic check is needed for you. Okay. So names like Gen 3, Bloomington, France, etc. Those are also like data. So data can be like any kind. So different actions are available for different data. For like numbers, what can we do for numbers? Like for numbers, we can add or subtract numbers, but names, you cannot like add or subtract the names. And you can join, like you cannot join two numbers. Like if one is a separate number and number two is like a separate number, I cannot simply put like 1 and 2 together, but because the value of it would change and it will be like either 12 or 21, right? The value will change when you change when you put these numbers together. But in names, like you can join the names together. Basically, like you can say like Bloomington and Illinois to be printed together. So based on different kinds of data, like you can have like different actions available for the data. So data can be grouped into different types. Let's take a look into there are a lot of types in Python, but we will actually focus only on the key data types that we will be using within our programming concepts. Okay, so the number, like if it is like a number, there are two kinds of numbers. One is like the int, the other one is float. And int means it's like whole numbers, which is like 1, 2, 3, like that. It's like a whole number. And floats basically means like they are decimals. So like 1.1, 1.2, like that. And these both, either int or float, both can be a positive number or a negative number. So some of you may not know about like what a negative numbers means, but that it's numbers less than 0. Okay, so it's like -2 or 2, or like -1.2 or 1.2. And what is the smallest number that you can save in int? I cannot like read this number, so it's actually printed here. So -2147483648. That is the smallest number you can have. So if in case like you are saying like int x is equal to, and if you are writing it as -2147483649, then that will be like wrong. Like that's you cannot like have that number. It's going to like error. The same way, the largest number that you can have is 2147483647. That's the only largest number that you can have. So anything between this you can assign. Those are all like integers. So one example of integer could be age of a person. And for float, the smallest number is to the decimal place of like 308 smallest like decimal places. And the largest is like 308 zeros afterwards. Anyways, we will not be like reading these many big numbers, but I've just like given you an example here, like for you to like know what is the biggest and smallest number you can save in the variables like int and float. Example of float is cost of a product, right? Like a pizza could cost like $5.99, so it's 5.99. Any questions on the int and float? Okay. If you guys have any questions during when I'm talking, just go ahead and put like a question mark on the chat. Then I would stop and then I'll answer your question, okay? Just put just a question mark saying you have a question. What are the actions that we can perform on the number operations? We can add the numbers. And so for that, the sign is like plus. So most of it, like the plus minus, we know because that's what we use in the regular math also. But for multiply, we put a star. That's in computer language, you have to like put a star for multiplying. So if you have to multiply 3 and 1, you write like 3 star 1, that says like you are multiplying it. And for divide, it's the backslash, like the slash right next to the shift key. And if it is like exponents, like, so if we are doing like 3 to the power of 2, we write like exponents, like 2 stars. That means it's the power. And there's a special function in that we don't write it in the regular mathematics, like you don't specifically like learn about like finding a reminder, but in computers you can find a reminder. That's called the modulus function. So if you do like 3 modulus 2, like the percent 2, the remainder will be 1. So you can find a reminder when you are dividing. So the divide sign will give you the quotient and the modulus sign gives you the remainder. Vatsal, I saw that you have a question, so go ahead and unmute and ask your question. Did you have a question, Vatsal?
Yeah, I had a question. So my question is, if what if you do 1.0, would that go into int or float?
It will be like float because you are having it as a decimal point, right? The moment you introduce point something, it will be a float.
Okay.
Okay. So any questions on this operations? So star is for multiplying, divide gives you the quotient, and modulus gives you the remainder. And if you need to do like the powers, you do like double star. We will be doing exercises on this, so that time you can start seeing the answers for it also. Then you can compare numbers, right? We kind of like, yes.
Could you explain the int and float to me again? Because I left because I had to go get my charger. So.
Okay, let's just like go back here. So in int and float are like two different kinds of numbers that you can use in the Python programming. Int is about like the whole numbers, like 1, 2, 3, 10, 20, 40, 45. Those numbers are actually called int. It does not have any decimal values. Floats are decimals. And both int and float can be positive numbers or it can be like a negative numbers also. And the smallest number that each of these data types will hold is listed here. We cannot like, it's very hard to read this number. This is the smallest number each of these can hold and the largest number it can hold, which what it means is if I'm giving x is equal to 21474836648, it's going to be erroring saying it's out of range. Because int has range only between this smallest number and the largest number. Example of int is age of a person. Example of float is like cost of a product. Like pizza costs like $5.99, which is 5.99. Is that clear, Snigdha?
Yes, thank you.
So the number operations, we talked about it, and then the comparison operations. So we used this comparison operation in our while exercises, right? Like in the while loop and for loop and all. So if we have to like compare if one number is like less than the other, the less than greater than symbol or like normal as we have been used to, which you might have learned in the math also. So for equal to, you have to say if we are checking if two numbers are equal, of two variables are equal, you would put like double equal to sign. If you put double equal to, that is when Python would know that I am supposed to check if these two numbers are equal. Because if we write x is equal to 1, what is that doing? Can anyone answer that? If we say x equal to 1, what is happening there?
I'm thinking maybe it's actually saying like x is 1.
Yeah, it's like value of x is assigned as 1. But if we say x equal to 1, what is it doing? It checks if the value of x is equal to 1. It does not assign the value of x to 1. So if we say x is equal to 2, it checks if the value of x is equal to 2. Okay, so remember, like in programming languages, the first class we learned that strict rules, and it's the different way you tell each language how you are supposed to do some checks. In Python, for checking equality, we use double equal to. And for not equal to, we have to write like an exclamation mark and then equal to. So this condition is checking is 3 not equal to 2. And this one is greater than or equal to and less than or equal to. So can someone explain like what greater than or equal to means? So 3 greater than or equal to 2, right? 3 is greater than or equal to 2 and 3 greater than or equal to 3. One of you explain what actually greater than or equal to means.
Greater than or equal to means like it could be greater than that value or it could be that value.
Yes. So, and we are always checking the left hand side value. If that's the left hand side value is the one that is always checked with the right hand side value. Right? We are not checking if like it's one when you read it, you read it like that. If 1 is less than equal to 3. Less than 3, 1 is less than 3, and if 3 is greater than 1, we read it from left side to right side. The next one is like the non-number types. These are just the numbers, right? But the non-number types are like strings and Boolean. So what is string and then lists also, strings, Boolean and lists. What does actually strings mean? Strings can be numbers also. Like you can say x is equal to, within quotation mark, you can say 1. And that means x is a value of like 1, but it's really not like the number 1. It is a string 1. And it can be alphabets. You can say like x is equal to your name, right? Or like x is equal to Bloomington, x is equal to Illinois. So that's also like string. Or it can be like special characters. So if in case like we are writing like x is equal to like contact@gen3learning.com, in that like at symbol is like a special character. So it there's no limitation that it has to be only alphabets. It can also be like special characters, numbers, everything. And it can be a combination of the numbers, alphabets, and special characters. The only rule is like it has to be represented with codes. So if we say x is equal to 1, just like that, it would mean that we are assigning a number to x. But at the same time, if we say x is equal to, within quotation mark 1, it says that we are assigning a string to the value x. So strings always has to be represented with codes. So for example, if you're saying like Gen 3, just like that, this is wrong. But you have to mention it like this within the quotes. And if you remember like all your print statements, if you're printing like when you printed hello world, you printed it within quotes. And when you say like print x, you just said like print x because it's printing a variable. And you can also say like print 1. It doesn't needs to be like within quotes. But if you are giving like anything like Gen 3, anything like that to print, it might like be problem. It would error. So example string or like home addresses, right? Our home addresses would actually say was, so my home address is like 3014 Ridgecrest. So I have numbers and alphabets in it, and the name of a person. So it's just like pure alphabets. The string functions. So imagine like in the strings, you can find like how long is the string. So finding the length of it, you would say like length of. So these are like methods. So that's we call the method, and then within bracket we are sending the value. So it's basically saying length of gen3. Then index. So index means, so when you're sending these characters, like how many letters are here? 4 letters are there, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Python actually remembers each of these, it gives like an index. So the first one is the 0th character, the second one is the first character, the third one is the second character, and then the fourth is the third character. So that's the index. So when you say index of a particular letter, it will print you at what position it is. So this is a 4 character one, and if we say like print x dot index 3, it will say which position 3 is present here. And it can count how many times a character is appearing. So if you say like x dot count O in the string Bloomington, what will be the value that returned to us? How many times the letter like alphabet O is appearing in the string? What would we get back?
3.
3. And we can also change it to uppercase, which is all these will be in capitals. And then we can change anything to the lowercase also. And you can split the string. So if you're having like a sentence or like a simple string, so here I'm splitting it as x is equal to gen3 x dot split e. G becomes one word and N3 becomes like another word, and E will be gone. So I'm saying like at wherever E is present, you just split these into 2 separate words. These are some of the functions that you can do on the string. But there's one special function with the strings most of the time we would use is called the substring, which is taking a portion of the string from a bigger string. So in substring, like, so last 3 letters in Bloomington gives us ton, like TON, and the first 3 letters in every gives EVE. So skipping every other character in plant, like if we skip the letter L and the letter N, it will give us PAT. So how do we utilize this substring function? You will give the string, and then you say where you need to like start, and at what position we need to end, and do we need to do any kind of skipping. This is similar to the range what we were doing, right? We gave a starting, we gave an end, and then how much we have to skip. Same concept here. So if we say x is equal to Bloomington, and then print 8 colon something, so it starts counting. So always it starts with 0. Most of the computer programs, like the index starts with 0. So the very first one, it's like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So from 8th character, it prints the rest of it. Because we gave only the starting position. We did not give the end and the skip. We just gave the starting position. And in every, we are saying we are giving only the end position. So it starts with the colon. Only the end position, we're saying like end at 3. So when you say end at 3, it goes 0, 1, 2, and then the third one doesn't get printed. So it will print EVE. In this example, x is equal to Bloomington, we are saying start at 1 and end at 5. So it starts at 0, 1, it starts at L, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 5th one doesn't get printed. So we will get loom. And in this example, we didn't give, like we gave 2 colons, which means we did not give value to start, we did not give value to end. Instead, we just gave empty values there. And then we said like skip 2 characters, every 2 characters, like skip it. So it prints like P, and then it skips the next one, and then prints A, and then it skips the next one and prints T. If we give a negative index, so instead of saying like positive 1, if we say like negative 5, negative 1, then it will start from the back. Instead of counting from the beginning, it just starts counting from the end. And again, like we will do exercises on this. And this is substringing it, and you can put together 2 words also, and that one we will cover it in the next class, like how you can like join 2 different words together.
I have a question, Vanita.
Yes. Go ahead, Vatsal.
Why is there a colon 2, but it skips only one letter?
It actually prints like the every other letter actually. So it starts from the first one and prints the second, like it skips the second one, and then it prints the next one and skips the second one. If you put like 1 is the normal skipping, like going like every one is like the default value. You don't need to like specify 1. If you specify 3, it starts like printing this, and then it skips like 3 letters. Like it will print like it won't print L and A. It will print this N.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah, 1 you don't need to mention 1. It's 1 is what it will always use. The Boolean. So answer to the condition. So Boolean is like a unique data type. Okay. And again, like it is only mostly in the computers it's used, because when you check the conditions, right, it needs to know whether it is a true or false. That's what Boolean means. Boolean has only like 2 values. It's either like it's true or false. No other answers beyond that for it. So it's answers to the conditions, and it is used in loops and conditions. So you all remember when we say like while x is less than 1, that means it is checking if that condition is true, then it keeps going. And you can combine the conditions using and, or, not, or is another word, or not. So for example, like today I can say, is today falling in the month of June and in the year of 2020? Is that statement right?
Yes.
Yes. So we are checking 2 conditions, right? One, we are checking if today is falling in the month of June. The second one we are checking is today falling in the year 2020. So there is conditions actually checked. What if I ask, is today Monday or is today July?
Monday.
Monday. One condition
Monday.
is true. Right. So one of the conditions, if today is Monday or if today falls under July, you have a holiday. Then one of the condition is true because today is Monday. So you will have a holiday today. Right. So if let's see the let's see the not condition. If today is not Sunday, you have to come to work. So is today not Sunday?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if today is not Monday, then you don't have a holiday. Because today Monday, you will not have a holiday, right? So that condition is today is not Monday. That condition is like actually false. Today is Monday, but then not Monday, that is false. So let's check here. So in our conditions, so if you're checking 2, and always you have to like compare only like 2 conditions at a time. And then that answer, if you're putting 3 conditions, you check the answer for 2, then that answer you will put it and check it with the third one. So if you're having 2 conditions checking here, if both the conditions are true, you will get the answer as true. Even if one of the condition is true, your answer will still be true in our condition. But if both are false, then it will be a false. So for example, if we say like if either on a Sunday or in July, you will have a holiday. So that means would today be a holiday?
No.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Sunday.
Yeah, today wouldn't be a holiday.
False, because both of it was false. Today is not Sunday, today is not July, so we don't have a holiday. So then with the and condition, both has to be true. Then only the answer will be true. Even if one is false, the answer will be false. And in
So
not condition, yes, go ahead. Who had the question?
So it's basically the opposite of or?
Yeah, kind of. It's opposite of the or, except like in or and if both are true, the answer will be true. And in or and if both are false, the answer will be false. Only for this true false, when you have these conditions, like if both the conditions are not giving you true or not giving you false, if it's giving true, false, false, true, that's when really this or and would matter. If you used a or condition or and condition. Because in and, both the statements has to be true for the whole condition to be true. Okay. So not condition, if the condition is true, it will make it false. If the condition is false, it will make it true. Just changes the condition. It might sound a little confusing, but we will do lab on it, and that time you can like get a picture of what I'm saying here. Okay. Then list is like a special type actually. It can hold a collection of items. So it can hold like numbers and strings together for like I've given some examples here. So if you are compiling like a list of cities, then you can hold like Bloomington, Normal, Chicago, all these are like list of cities. So that list, see, each of it is containing like strings, right? Bloomington is a string, Normal is a string, Chicago is a string. And like the numbers like 10, 340, 234, those are all like numbers. So that is like also another set of list. So it can be what to say, your we can just like say like, okay, number of corona cases, that can be like 10, and first it started with 10 cases and then 340 cases and then it reduced to 234 cases, like that. The next one is like the city and the zip code actually we are having, but you see that there's a string and number. So in a list, you can actually put together multiple values together. That's what list is. It's, I feel it like it's like a special kind of type data type. List operations, what can you do? You can print like the first item in the list. So here we are having three values, like three cities. Again, as always remember, the index starts with 0. So if we say like print 0, it's going to print Bloomington. That is the first item in the list. And we can print like the last item in the list, that's a -1. And you can also print like the second and third item in the list. The same concept, right? Like what we used in the range, we gave a starting value and then an ending value. So we are saying start at 1 and then end at like print the second and the third item. For it, it is like the first at the index 1 and then give the index 2, like the stop at the index after you print the third one. And then print the second item from the list. So like print from second item from the list, you just have to mention, you give only the starting value and you don't give the ending value. If you don't give the ending value, it just prints until the end. Same way, like if we have to print until the second value, we don't give the starting value. We give only the ending value. So this concept about start, end, and skip, we saw it in the range, we saw it in substring, we are seeing that in the list operation. And in case like here, the index goes like 0, 1, 2, but if I say like print x of 3, that time you will see an error saying it is like out of index. Whenever you see that out of index range, that means you're asking it to print something beyond the range. If I'm asking you to say, tell me the 8th day of the week, then you would say, oh, there's no 8th day of the week. There's only 7 days in a week, right? So that is beyond the range. Got it? So like saying what will be the 31st day of June, that doesn't exist because that's beyond the range. So let's do an exercise here. So where do we think the apple, like the word apple, will go?
String.
Yep. And then where do we think car will go?
String.
String.
Test 1, 2, 4.
String.
String.
0.
Int.
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 25. Int.
Int.
All.
Int.
1,
Float.
4.
Oh yeah.
I cannot hear anything.
Yeah.
Me too.
Uh-huh.
You're
It's kind of like
lagging.
lagging. Yeah.
No, I think like there's some noise.
Oh, yeah, someone's breathing into their mic.
One at a time. Okay, one at a time. Mute, unmute, and talk. One at a time. So 1, 2, 4, 5. Like 1, 2, 4, 5. Where will this come? This one.
Int.
Int.
1, 2, 4, 5.37.
Float.
Float.
Float. And then what else will come in float?
0.35.
25.34.
Yeah, those two will come in the float. So then the rest
And
will be
the
Bool.
boolean.
Boolean. Yep. And for list, we know that doesn't have to be like an exercise, but the list can be like Toyota, Ford, Mustang. That's the list of cars. Honda, Nissan too. That can be like a list of cars and the number of cars that you own. And then the list of schools.
Mustang is owned by Ford, but whatever.
Wait, your voice is breaking. Okay. So here are like some references. Again, like I will put these in the classroom where you can refer to like the data types. And I have covered like the very basic like key data types and then the key operations. But if you are interested to learn more, these are here are some of the links. And are we ready? I think like, yep, we open up the classroom lab. So I have posted the lab today. Did you all see the lab?
Yeah, I see it.
Yes, I looked at it.
So class work, we have labs, data types, and operations.
Huh.
What happened?
Interesting. Okay.
So Advait, go ahead and share your screen and we'll do the first exercise with you. I would stop sharing.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah. So before we get started, like, does anyone have any questions on the content that we have covered
I
so far?
can't see his screen. Really, like.
It has loaded actually. I can see it.
I think I can. Like, is he looking at? Oh,
Yeah.
I
can
can
see
see
the
your
screen.
screen, but it's like up in a tiny corner.
That is like you check your computer though, Snigdha, like to see if what other programs you have opened up.
Okay, now I can see it. Now I can
Yeah.
see the screen.
Does anyone have questions on the content that we covered so far?
No.
Okay. The recommendation will be to have the PyCharm up and running already because it does take few minutes to like load sometimes. One
I already
or
opened up.
2 minutes. Yeah, but for everyone I'm saying. And again, like Triambak is online. If any of you have questions on the labs, you can join, like have a private call with him. Just you need to let him know so he can join that Skype call.
All right, let me just open a new Python file. A new Python file. Lab 2.1. So are we doing lab ID 1?
Yes.
All
So
right.
what are we doing here? We are printing the type of each of those values.
Yep.
Okay. Yep. Go ahead and copy that and put it. You may have to like open it in a separate document. So like open in Google Docs. If not, that quotation and the less than might not get copied properly.
Is everything red in here?
It's not right. So go open your Chrome, like open your Chrome, like the Google Classroom.
I am in Google Classroom.
And you open the Google Docs, like, yeah, just hold on. Open it in the Google, yeah, open in Google Docs. I tried to post it as a HTML, it didn't come out properly. So you have to like open it as like Google Docs. So the copy paste will copy the values properly.
Cool.
Yeah. Now you copy and paste that one.
Needs to load a bit. There we go. Finished loading. There we go. God, my computer is so laggy. There we go. Copy. Control V. Move the Python. Control V. I think everything's right.
Yep.
So Control S and Control Shift 10.
Okay.
Oh, F10. Strange. There we go.
Yep.
Bam.
So let's say here, like the type of 5, that is a int because it's like a whole number, right? And 2.3, that is a float. And then Gen 3, it's again like given in quotes, it's a string. And 10 less than 9, it returns a condition, like the answer to the condition, right? So 10 is not less than 9, but it's just saying it's a type bool because the answer would be true or false there.
So it would be Boolean.
Yeah, it's a Boolean. So you call it as it's a Boolean, but in Python it's just like int is called as int, float is float, but string is called as str, and then Boolean is just called as bool. That's all bool. That's it.
Makes sense.
Okay.
Okay, I will stop sharing my screen.
Yes, stop sharing your screen and then Dhruv.
Yeah.
Go ahead and share your screen and we'll do lab 2.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Let's go display 1. Pink. Okay, is it sharing?
I don't see it.
Yeah, we can see it. So just everybody can like just for like few seconds because depending on the internet connection and then the Skype server, it might get delayed a little bit.
Here, wait, let me just copy paste this.
Did everyone complete lab 1? Let's do that check. Like, did everyone complete lab 1?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Is there anyone still working on it?
Yes, I completed lab 1.
You finished, you said what else?
Yeah.
Okay. So go ahead and run this through and then we will see like what each of the step is doing.
That was 20. That was 21. Give me a second.
Yeah.
There.
Okay. Okay, so here we are assigning the value 5 to x, and then the variable y is assigned with value 2, right? And then the line number that is doing, it's printing x plus y. And the next one is doing like x minus y. And then the next one, it's doing like x times y. And then what is the next line doing?
X time, wait, that's X exponent
Yes,
Y.
the power of 2. Yeah, x to the power of y. So it's doing 5 to the power of 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next one,
X divided by Y.
yes, x divided by y. And you see that the answer is always coming as a decimals actually here with the, it divides it until like a decimal point.
Mm-hmm.
And then x modulus y gives you the remainder.
Module.
Modulus, you just read it as like modulus or
Oh,
modulo or percentage
it looks
operation.
like
It's
a
called,
percent. It looks like a percent sign.
it is a percent sign,
That
but
was a
we call it as
percentage.
yeah, it is a percent sign, but it's not giving the percentage. It's actually, it gives you the remainder of the problem, whatever you're dividing. So the remainder is 1.
Should I stop sharing?
Yeah, you can stop sharing, but any questions here? We'll just pause until like everybody have finished lab 2.
I finished lab 2.
Okay. Who is, whoever is working on it, tell that you're working on it, and we'll pause for a minute.
I finished too.
Miles, Sandy.
Yeah, I finished.
Okay.
Yeah, I did.
Okay. So Dhruv shared, next to Snigdha shared the screen.
Okay. You see?
Yep.
Do you see my screen?
Yes, yes, Snigdha.
Okay, so I copied and pasted the code, and then
Yep.
the output was true, false, true, false, true.
Yep. So what is it like? The same values we have given, right? X is equal to 5 and y is equal to 2. And line number 3, we are checking if print, like print if x is not equal to y, like the condition of x is not equal to y. So as x is not equal to y, right? That condition 5 is not equal to 2. So that is true.
Mm-hmm.
So it printed true.
Yes.
And then is x less than y?
No.
No. So it printed false.
Mm-hmm.
Is x greater than y?
Yes. So
Yes.
it printed true.
Yes. Go ahead with the next statement.
Then it says x is greater. Wait, no.
Less than.
X is greater than equal to y.
No, this line number 6 is basically saying x is less than or equal to y, right?
Okay. Yes. Thank you. Which means that it printed false.
Yeah, because x is not less than or equal to y, because 5
Yeah.
is less than or equal to 2. And then the
Yeah.
next statement.
X is greater than or equal to y, which is
Mhm.
true. So I printed true.
Yes. Any questions here for anyone?
Auntie,
Mm-hmm.
what would happen if I put down like 2 conditions? Would like there be true, or would there just be like 1 true?
So we have to, any two conditions has to be combined with the and or keywords. Then based on the table we saw, right, if both the conditions are true, you will see a true. If
Yes.
both conditions are false, you will see false. But
Yeah.
if either one of this condition is true or false, depending on if you had a and or condition, the answer would be different. We will be doing like a Boolean exercise like down in this lab.
Thank you.
If my order got disturbed here. So Sean, can you share your screen and share like do the problem number 4, like lab 4? Okay, is everyone done with this lab 3? Is anyone working on it still?
I'm done.
Okay. If you're done, you don't need to say, but if anybody is working on it, just say so we can like pass.
So you do this.
Oh. It's going to be my favorite part. Oh, okay. And the results are
Yep.
1.0, 4.75.
Yep. We use the same numbers, right? In both these print statements, we are using like 2, 4, 3, 7, and 2. The answers are different because of the order of operation. Do we
Here,
see parentheses? In the first line, we are adding 2 and 4 first, and then we are adding 16 and 2 first after that. And then the
yeah,
addition and division happen.
I have heard that parentheses always goes first.
Yes. So,
Wait, so I have a question.
yes, Alan.
So, for the first line,
Mhm.
why is it 1.0? Can it just be 1? Why does it have to be a float?
Whenever you have a division, the answer comes back as a float.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Whenever you have a division, the answer comes back as a float.
Okay.
Okay. Yep. So thank
So
you.
it only just,
Yeah.
it just like
Is
shows
anybody
this.
working on anybody else working on the exercise 4? Okay. So okay, Sean is done. Miles, are you there? So right. Yes, Miles, go ahead and share your screen and then do lab 5.
Okay. Wait, what's it?
Okay. So here we assigned the value x as gen 3 and then Y is Bloomington, C is USA, and W is learning is fun, right? Like, so 4 different variables, we have assigned different letter values to it. And the first line, first we are printing length of X. So how many characters is Gen 3? It's 4 characters. So it printed 4. And we printing like in the index, like where the number 3 is appearing in the word Gen 3. So that one is at the third one. So 0 is the G. So 0, 1, 2, 3. The index of it is 3. Then we are counting how many O's are there in the word Bloomington. So there is 3 times word O is present. The next one, we are printing X, which the value Gen 3 in capitals. And then we are printing the word USA in small letters, in lowercase. Then the last one, this one is like really fun though, to me, like you have this whole sentence, you're splitting that into different words. So you're saying like split at the space. So it actually split it up into different words. Questions here?
No, no question.
Okay. Is anyone working on this still? This exercise, the 5th one.
No. Should I stop sharing my screen?
Yes, you can stop sharing, Miles. Okay. Vatsal, go ahead and share your screen and we'll do the 6th one.
Okay.
Yeah. So can you explain, Vatsal?
Yeah. Okay, so wait. Okay, so this is the 6th one. So X equals Bloomington right now, and it's saying print X starting from. Okay, so
Correct. Starting from?
starting from 8.
Yeah, starting from the 8 from the index 8.
So it starts from O.
No, you start counting from 0.
Yeah.
So, no, you start counting. So B will be 0. So you have to like count from, in computers, you always like count as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. You don't start counting at 1.
Wait.
Okay, so you start counting from 0.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So you would be like 0. So B counts as 0.
Yes.
Okay, so B 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
8.
So then you would just see ton.
Ton. You see only ton, right?
Okay, so then the next one says print X 1 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
So then 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
At 5, it stops at 5. It does not print the 5th one. It just stops there.
So it just prints Bloom then.
Yes.
And then X changes from Bloomington to every.
Good.
So then print X till 3. And then it makes every Eve. And then Eve changes to plant. No, I mean X. Every changes to plant. So
Yes.
then it's, since you put colon 2, it skips the second letter. And then puts the first one, then skips the second, puts the first.
Yep.
Okay. So is that it?
Yep, that's it. Good. Did everybody get finish it? And is there any questions in this indexing, in the substringing?
Yes and no.
What is the question? Okay, you finished and you don't have any question. That's what you mean. Okay.
Okay, so should I stop screen sharing?
You can stop screen sharing. I'm seeing Snigdha is typing something. Snigdha, go ahead and talk. Like, what question do you have? Sandy, you can share your screen and we will work on the next one. Snigdha, what question do you have?
It wasn't a question. It was really just a comment.
So only add, I don't monitor the chat, so add there only if you have a question. Like if you have a question, just put like question mark. Okay, so get like distracted. Sandy? So we are doing lab 7.
Auntie, what lab are we doing?
Lab 7.
Oh, okay. So I already put it in. So, and I'm gonna run it. Yeah.
So now can you explain these words all like doesn't make sense, but just like go ahead and explain what is happening.
I'm pretty sure -8 means like you start at letter 8, so
We
start
actually start counting
the end.
Yeah, start counting from the end. When you see negatives, it's actually starting to count from the end.
And then you do negative, so then you do the end from -5 to -1. So then the end, so then that would be NGTO, and then every, it starts at -3, so then that would be it goes EV, and then -2, you start at T, and you start at T, and then you go to A, and then you go to P, I'm pretty sure.
Yep. So it actually did like N. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 until it counted until like the 8th letter and it printed like the last 8 letters in the first one. And in the next one, it started at the 5th one and it went until like the first one. So the negatives actually reverse. The counting like happens from the back, not from the beginning. Any questions here? Most of the time,
I'm gonna stop sharing.
Yeah, you can stop sharing. Most of the time we use like the positive indexes. The negative index sometimes you would use to just to see like what is the end character, or if you have to like remove the end characters, like if you're having like a comma in the sentence, you want to just remove the comma and then print it. So in that case, like the last character is the one that you most of the time we would be like deleting. Next is Alan. We're doing lab 8, Alan.
Yeah. So it's saying print 1 is greater than equal to 1.
1 is less than, so that's a less than symbol, right?
Yeah, sorry.
Yep. So this is like the Boolean, like, and the AND conditions we are checking.
Yeah.
Right. So we are saying like, what is the first condition here?
True.
True. And then the second condition in the first sentence?
True.
True. So both are true means, and we are combining these two conditions using the word AND. So the answer will be?
True.
True. And in the next one, the first condition is?
True, and the next condition is false.
Mm-hmm.
So it is false, yeah.
Yep. And the third one?
The first one is false, and the second one is true.
Mm-hmm.
So it's false.
Yep. And then the last one?
So the first one is false, and the second one is false. So it's false.
Yes. So if in case we are adding like one more condition, like if I say like print 1 less than equal to 1 and 2 less than equal to 2 and 3 less than equal to 3, it first checks the answer for the first two condition. So that will be true. And then it checks if the last condition is true. Then it does like true and true. Okay, so it always like compares like two at a time. Any questions here? Okay, Advait, so we're going back to the same cycle. Advait, go ahead and share your screen and we'll do lab 9.
Can you see my screen?
Yep, we can.
Okay. So I already did it and got this.
Okay, go ahead and it's the same conditions given, some from the previous one. We see that the second and third one is printed as true, even though one of the condition is false.
Yeah, because the reason is because there's an or here.
Yep, you have combined these conditions using the or condition.
Yeah. So it's not like the other condition, it's like or this time. Like open. It's not and this time, which I think and only if one thing is false then the other thing is. Then if one thing is false then the whole thing is false. But or is like if one thing is true, it's true.
Yes.
So
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Should I stop sharing my screen?
Yeah, you can stop sharing. And Dhruv? This is
Yeah.
the order in which
So
we are
share now?
Yep. This is the order in which we are going. So Advait, Dhruv, like I'll just like call one after the other. So
Okay.
you lab 10.
I
am I
think it's
sharing?
like alphabetical order.
Yeah. Yes. We can see the screen. We're doing like
Okay.
lab.
Let's open. Okay, lab 10, right?
Yes.
So lab 30. Yeah. Lab 30. WordPad. Okay, copy and paste it.
Go ahead and run it.
Let's run. True, false.
Yep. So the first one is actually doing what?
It's asking if 1 is less than or equal to 1. And that's true, so it says true. And then the second one is 2 less than or equal to 1, which isn't true, so it says false.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. Good. Next is Snigdha. Doing lab 11.
Yes, I was just finishing lab 10.
Okay. Yeah. Is anyone working on the old lab still? Like,
Okay, I'm finished.
okay.
Let me first share my screen real quick. Okay, sharing my screen. So I'm doing lab 11, right?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. Let me first close this window. So that's all right, right?
Yes.
That's correct. It says false, true.
So what is it doing, the first line?
The first line is not. It basically, so 1 is lesser than or equal to 1,
Mm-hmm.
and
So
that's
less than or equal to
not.
1.
So that's false.
Yeah, but so
1
1
is equal to 1.
1 is less than or equal to 1, right? Like that condition by itself is true.
Yeah, but it says not
Yeah.
before it, so it's false.
Yeah.
And then
Good,
the
good.
second condition is not 2 is lesser than or equal to 1.
Mm-hmm.
2 is larger than 1, so that condition is true because it says not before it.
Yeah, so basically the way to explain is like that 2 is less than or equal to 1, that condition is false, but you are asking it to like reverse that condition because that not is making that condition to be the opposite of the actual answer.
Okay.
So the opposite of that answer is true.
Okay.
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 So Sean, go ahead and share your screen
Can I
and we are
stop sharing my screen?
yeah, you can stop sharing, Smita. You're doing lab 12, Sean.
Okay. Oh, lab 12. Okay. Just in time.
Yep.
Ooh. So 0, the first. So the colors in 0 will be red, right?
Yes.
And then yellow, blue, green. It's like in order.
Yes. So the first color in the like the first one is red. So the index 0 when we print, it's going to print the very first one. And then when we print the index 1, it prints like yellow, which is the second one. And then when we print like the second index, it's printing the third one. And then the fourth index, it it need to give like 3. So if you type like 4 instead of like giving 3 in the last line, go ahead and type 4.
Type 4.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
Yes. See what happens. You
It's
see,
an arrow.
yep. And what is the error saying? It's saying index error, list index out of range.
Uh,
Okay, so remember when,
list index out of range.
yep, which means you don't have a fourth index here. You have only index until 3. So if you see this error, all you have to check like if your index, if you're going beyond the value. Yeah, you can go ahead and add something there. Go ahead and add something. Give orange.
And let's see what happens.
Yep. See, it printed.
See
Yep.
if it has enough the colors.
Yes.
Pretty intelligent.
Yep. You can stop sharing, Sean. Next, Miles.
Okay.
We're doing lab 13.
Hold on a second. What? Oh, there we go. So,
Can you open with Google Docs? If you click that open with Google Docs, what happens there? Yeah, click on that open. Yes, click that. Because then when you copy paste, it comes properly. It doesn't bring that ampersand symbols and all those. Just it's loading actually. Let's wait for a few seconds. Yeah, just delete everything and then paste it.
There we go.
Yeah. So open with the Google Docs. That saves us a lot of trouble.
Here.
Go ahead and print that. Like run the program.
I did. Wait, hold a second. That's right. That's right. You don't see what I see on the TV. What's on the computer.
Okay. So go ahead and explain it, Miles.
So it says like her colors red, yellow, blue, and blue, and then it prints the colors 2 and 1, which or no, just 2. I mean, so that means like the print on my color is yellow,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's print colors 1 semicolon or whatever 2 sun. I guess that prints 1 and 2, so like red and yellow.
So the very first line, it is actually saying start at the index 2 and then print everything after that. So what will be the index 2 here? So the index 0 is red. So what will be the index 2 in your list of colors? If 0 is like if red is 0, yellow will be what? 1. Yellow would be 1. So it goes like 0, 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's asking to print from the second index, print everything after that.
Print colors is printing blue, or print colors 2 is printing blue, then print colors 1 semicolon or whatever 2 is printing red and yellow.
Yeah.
Or no, it's printing yellow and blue.
Yeah, so the first one is saying from the second index, print everything. So the second index is blue. So it prints blue and then whatever is coming after that. The next line is saying start at the index 1 and stop at index 2. So index 1 is yellow and index 2 is blue. So it prints only yellow. And the next line is saying start from the beginning but end at the index 2. So index 2 is blue, so it prints red and yellow.
Okay.
Okay. Yep. So yeah, you can stop sharing, Miles. And Watzel, you are doing lab 14. Are you sharing the screen, Watzel? Watzel, you there?
I can't see the
green.
Okay, I'm gonna share the screen.
What happened? Couple of people are like leaving. Dave, Don, like Helen.
Guys, can you see the screen?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so which lab?
Lab 14.
Okay,
Yes, I can see your screen.
Yep.
okay.
Yeah.
So,
Run it and then you have to explain it.
okay. So there are 4 colors: red, yellow, blue, and green. And
Mhm.
it's telling me to print the word before, and then after that it's saying print colors too. So 0, 1, 2.
Mhm.
It'll print blue, and
Mhm.
then it tells me the colors too is not blue anymore and it's orange now.
Mhm.
So now it's telling me to print after, and
Mhm.
then it says print colors too, which is orange.
Yes. So we can replace the values in the list. That's what it's basically saying. You start with the list and then you go back and then you can update the value. You can change the value in the list by directly changing like the index. So if we have to like change the very first one, we say colors 0 is equal to red like orange. Then it will change the very first one into orange. Yes. So go ahead with your question. Thanks, Vatsal, for sharing. You can stop sharing if you want. Like,
Okay,
Dhruv, go
you're
ahead with.
welcome.
Yep.
Since there's only 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, and 3 for red, yellow, blue, and green, if you put colors 4 equals orange, will it still work? And then
Oh,
you replace the 2 with the 4?
no, to add a list, there's like a separate function you need to do. So you can only, so to start with, you can only reference to the indexes that is already in place. If not, there is a separate way how you have to like add the values to the list.
So wait, so I couldn't like go print colors 2, colors 4 equals orange, print colors 4?
Colors, but why don't you like, let's just give it a try here.
Here, should I share my screen or?
Go ahead and share your screen and then let's give that a try.
Okay. Can you see it?
Colors 4 is not existing, right? So yeah, yes, I can.
Let's do this. Colors 4,
Mm-hmm.
print colors 4.
Mm-hmm.
3, 2,
Yep.
1, go.
See, it's index out of range because the colors 4 was not there. Like to add values to the list, there's a separate method or like a function you need to call.
Let me just stop sharing.
Yep. But good question. Okay, who is next? Sandy. Sandy there? Yes.
Okay.
Lab 15.
Oops. So I'm doing the turtle thing?
No, lab 15.
Oh. Okay.
Can you explain?
So -2 means it's starting from the end.
Mm-hmm.
So then it would be blue. So that because green would be -1 and blue would be -2.
Mm-hmm.
So then it's printing that onwards. So then it's blue green.
Mm-hmm.
And then -2, -1.
Mm-hmm.
It's dividing it. It's starting at blue and dividing it between blue. So it would only print blue.
Mm-hmm. What do you mean by dividing it between blue? It prints until the first character, like until yellow.
Yeah.
So when it sees like the first index, like it just like stops at that point. And then the last one.
Red, yellow. Yeah, it's because the index is pointing towards that the other way. So then it would things that are behind the blue.
Yep, that's right. It's okay. So next is Alan. Thank you, Sandy. Alan, go ahead and share your screen and lab 16. Now starts like all the turtle labs for fun. So the turtle.done is missing from that code. So if we don't have the turtle.done, as soon as the coloring is done, that window just goes away.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's that. You can add the turtle.done. So explain like what this code is like now doing. Like we learned the loops and then now the list, right? So putting it together, we are able to get and we learned the number operations also.
Yeah.
So using all of that together, we are able to like draw this colorful picture. So what is this code actually doing, like starting at line 4?
So it's stating all the colors red, yellow, blue, green that are in the drawing.
Mm-hmm.
And so if X is in range of 100, then the pen color should or X should be divided.
Yeah, so basically when we say like range of 100, it means between 0 and 100, the values will be getting like 1. So it's looping, right? So first X is 0, and then X is 1, and then X is 2, and then X is 3, like that.
Uh-huh.
So it has to pick like the first color, second color, third color, fourth color. Because we have like 4 colors, we are dividing the value of X by 4. Like we are finding the remainder of 4. So what will be the remainder when 0 is like when 1 is divided by 4, what will be the remainder?
3.
No.
Sorry, 4.
1 is divided by 4, the remainder will be 1, right? Because you cannot like divide it. The quotient will be 0 and the remainder will be 1. Like if 5 is divided by 4, remainder will be 1.
Yeah.
Right? So always like the reminders will be either 0 or 1 or 2 or 3. When you are dividing a number by 4, you will get the reminders only between 0, 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
Right? So it actually picks the colors of 0 or colors of 1, colors 2 or colors 3. That is what is happening in the 6th line. The color of the pen is changing continuously.
Okay.
Okay, so number operation is implemented there, and then we are getting the value of the color like from the list, and then giving that value to the pen.
Okay.
And then we are going forward and the left. So forward left is similar to whatever we did earlier, but how are we changing that color? We are using so if in case you add like one more color in the list, you will divide it by 5 if that 4th color has to be picked up.
Yeah.
Right, then only you will get the remainder as 0 to 4, then only colors of 3, like the colors of 4 will get picked up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yep, you can try that option. And next, Advait. Is Advait there? Advait kind of left. I don't see Advait. So Dhruv, go ahead and share your screen, Dhruv. And we'll do the 17th one.
Okay. I'm sharing my screen right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I already have everything copied and pasted. Is it sharing?
Yes, yes.
Okay, let me just run this. Oh, wait. Are you seeing it run or no?
I'm seeing it. I can see it. But where is, I think your Python is like down in your toolbar, taskbar.
Wait,
Like
I'm trying.
open.
Here, there you go.
Yes, okay.
See, yeah, I'm using a monitor, so it's PyCharm's on the top part on the monitor, and then my computer Skype, so
Okay.
this appears on the Skype tab, so I have to
Okay.
move it.
Okay. So I think like Vatsal, you asked the question, right? Like how to draw circle. So this one is like drawing circle. So line number 7, if you see, it just says T dot circle, and it draws circle.
So wait, how does this work?
I drew a circle a different way.
Wait, you just put T dot circle?
Yes.
Really? It's that easy?
It's that easy. T dot circle, and then you are giving like the color, like the circle X, the value of X, that is the radius, like, or the diameter to which the circle actually like runs. So you get like the initially like the 1, and then 2, 3, 4. So I have to like look to see if it is a diameter or like the
Wait,
radius. But you
can you
see,
do X dot T dot for this? Can you do T dot square then, and it'll keep on doing squares?
you mean like X square?
No, like here, let me show you. It's like
T dot square. I don't know if that's a function.
let's see if this works.
Yeah, so there's no method called like square for it. You have a circle.
I'm gonna take away X and try this one more time. Bing. Nope.
No.
C.
You
There.
have a circle though. Yep.
Okay, should I stop sharing my screen?
Yep, you can stop sharing.
Hey, Vanita.
Yes.
I found out another way to make a circle.
Mhm.
And it's where and I don't need like a function for it. So can I share my screen and show you?
Yeah, go ahead and share your screen and show me.
Okay, so I got the code. So it doesn't have like a function. It just goes one forward, one left, one forward, one left.
Okay.
Yeah, on me.
Where's your running window?
What?
I'm not seeing your output though. Is it running in a?
Oh yeah, because when I shared the screen, I shared only this tab. I shared only the PyCharm tab. So wait, let me try sharing screen again.
Okay.
I think I know how. Wait. Oh yeah. Wait, I know how to do it. I know how to do it. Wait. Go to. Wait. First, let me share screen and share. So that's how it looks like.
Oh,
So it just went slowly like this, and then it connected. So it started here and then slowly and then connected. And if you want to make like a narrower or wider circle, instead of make it like forward one, left one, make it like forward one, left
okay. This is good. Good Vatsal.
left. So can you see it?
Yeah, we saw the circle actually. This is good. The benefit of using the functions is you can write like less code.
Yeah.
So try using the circle function also, and then passing a value of, if we say like t dot circle 1 and t dot circle 2, then the circle size like keep increasing, right? So if we write the code, we just have to be like very accurate about like how forward we are moving and then how much left we need to take. But very, very good exploration on that. Good job.
Thanks.
Yep. Snigdha, can you share your screen and do 18th problem?
Lab 18.
Yes.
Is this how the code is supposed to look?
Mm-hmm. That's
Okay.
how it's supposed to look. Yep. So it just makes 4 different circles like overlapping, like everything is meeting in the middle. So go back to the code. So we are drawing a circle and then we are taking a left. Actually, we are turning to like 91 degrees and then like drawing the next circle.
Okay.
The previous code we did not like turn, so we were just like right in the same place and then drawing the circle. That's why it just came as a cone. Like lab 17, it came like a cone. But lab 18, the only difference is like we are moving a little bit and then like drawing it. Okay. So next, you can stop sharing, Snigdha. Sean,
Okay.
you can share your screen, Sean, and then do problem 19. Yep. So this one, we are actually deciding like how many sides each of the shape would be having. So if you notice in the code, you'll see a line called like sides is equal to 4. So next class, when we do like more learning about how we can take like user inputs and then add the value, that time we can make changes to the number of sides you need to get. So based on the sides here, your colors changes and like your pen color changes and then how far your picture is actually moving. Go back to the
Oh, yeah, I'm unmuted. Look at this.
yeah. So you go to the code, like show the code. So you see the line number 6 where it says sides equal to 4.
6.
Line
Line
number
number
6.
6.
Yeah. So if you change the value of that shape, yeah. If you change the value
Oh.
of that, the shape, whatever you're getting will be changing.
Let's say we do 5. What happens?
Yep.
See,
You stop and click on that.
yeah. C won't allow to run parallel. See, look.
Parallel. That means that you've already ran it once and you didn't close the tab.
So now we are getting a star.
It's going to be a star.
If you change the values in that, you would be like seeing it. It actually creates a picture with that in a side. Okay. Next, you can stop sharing, Sean, and last one will be Miles.
Okay.
Yep.
Here,
You have already copied it, Miles.
yeah,
Okay.
okay. Yeah, I'll do that. Toggle scale.
Yep. So we learned like loops, and then we learned data types, and then we learned like the number operations. So using all of these combinations, we applied that with turtle also, right? So I would like post like some homework related to whatever you learned like today. It will be posted like by tomorrow, hopefully. And before next Monday, the expectation is like all the homework needs to be done. Like I'm not expecting like before Wednesday everything needs to be done, but before Wednesday, if the pending homeworks for whatever was given like last week, if you guys can like finish, whoever have not finished it, go ahead and finish those, and before next Monday, the rest of the homework will be due. Okay?
Okay. Okay.
Yep. Any questions, anyone? Okay. Thank you all.